Hello, hello, hello. Yes, I'm back. It's monster time. Monster lore, making freaky monsters. And before you, if you want freaky monsters, Esper's Emporium of Esoterica and the Tome of Beasts 3, actually, it's growing on me. And it's not growing on me like a fungus, for those of you who are curious. No, I think it's quite a good book. In fact, both of them seem to be doing a pretty good job. But we'll talk more about that some other time. Right now, I'm going to put up a poll. I suggest you grab some food, some drink, make sure you're comfortable, turn your brain on because we're going to not, I'm going to do a presentation. It's going to be fairly quick. And then we're going to go straight into doing the workshop aspect of monsters. And that is making some freaky monsters, finishing off some things we've done in the past, all that sort of stuff. I apologize if you find the sound is very low. It's not my end. There's something going on with YouTube. It's not me. Okay, so unfortunately, you're going to have to crank up the sound at your end because I can't max it out anymore at my end. It's just a YouTube thing. It will eventually correct itself, but right now it's not very great and not very good. And it doesn't seem to be affecting everybody too, I've noticed. So here's my poll. Feel free to take part in that. I'm going to get rid of these plugs. We don't need them anymore. And we'll get straight into the topic for today. Should be a lot of fun. How's it going, Big Kid? Big Kid is a patron. Thank you for being here. Okay, let's transition screen. Bam, we're ready to go. Sweet. Hi, welcome to How to... pardon me. Hi, welcome to How to RPG. My name is Fred Weller, and today I want to talk about monsters. Monster lore, using monsters in your game, and guess what? Making freaky monsters. That is the topic for today. So if that is what you signed up for, that's what you were expecting, that's what you get. So making freaky monsters for your role-playing games or your Dungeons & Dragons or your Pathfinder, whatever it is. How can you do that? Now, I had this discussion recently with AJ Pickett, and this is what we kind of determined. I had already kind of developed this a little bit, but this is a very simple process that you can use. So if you struggle with creating or making a freaky, homebrew, strange monster, this is a technique you could use. One of the easiest ways is to generate the physical form for your homebrew monster and assemble it from a large table of 100 different real-world animals. Like, use real-world animals, just a big list. That's 100 items. You can generate something like this yourself. You will need 4 different percentile tables to do this that you're going to roll on. You would roll randomly using percentile dice. And the list of creatures needs to be from specific environmental regions. And you're going to break it up into the following. The regions should be broken up into 1, sky, things that fly, marine, things that swim, land-based, and lastly, subterranean, things under the ground. By doing this, the monster created should still have biological anatomy that makes sense for whatever world you're creating. Now, the easiest way to do this is to, starting off with your flying or your sky monsters, is roll 4 times on a 100 percentile table, and you're looking for making sure this list consists of 100 flying animals to generate your monster. So roll for the head first, then the body, then the legs, because most creatures that fly have legs rather than arms, and then wings. The wings are the upper appendage, and therefore it's nice and simple because usually if you have arms on a flying creature, they are wings. Okay, so they could have a combination of hands and wings combined if you wanted to. So that's a flying creature. Now with a marine water monster, you're going to roll 3 times on a table of 100 marine animals to generate your monster, and you're going to roll for the head first, the body, and limbs. Now limbs, usually this is fins, tail, and tentacles. Now I haven't broken it up into those different things because not all marine creatures have fins, a tail, and tentacles, but they can have those sorts of things there. That's why I've said simply limbs. So you can get whatever you roll up. You could wind up with tentacles, you could wind up with a fin, you might have a tail, you might not have a tail. Next is land-based monsters, the one you're going to use probably the most. You're going to roll 4 times on a table of 100 land animals to generate a bipedal monster. This is a monster that stands on 2 legs. And you're going to roll first for the head, then the body, the legs, and the arms, because bipedal creatures usually have arms. Next, if you're doing a land-based creature, you're going to roll 3 times on a 100 table or percentile table of land animals, and that's to generate a quadruped. This quadruped monster is going to have to be standing on 4 legs rather than 2 legs. And you're going to roll for the head, the body, and legs. Now, subterranean, as you may have guessed, it's pretty limited, but it's underground monsters. You're going to roll 3 times on a table of 100 subterranean animals or creatures that live under the ground or spend most of their time there to generate your monster. So you roll for the head, the body, and the limbs. That's it. When it comes to creatures, that's usually how each one of those animals are broken up, and so you're going to do the same thing with your monsters. You might have to make a few adjustments, but the basis of your monster and your anatomy should be correct if you use that method. I want to thank AJ Pickett for his advice on making monsters and building them, because I had a discussion with him not so long ago about how to do something like this, and his advice was this is the method you want to do. Break it up into different environments. A 100 percentile table is probably the one you want to go for. You get the maximum amount of variation in the creation of your monster or creature, and so I'm advising you on that. And guess what? I'm going to build something like this. If you don't build it, I will build it. If I build it, they will come, right? Or maybe they won't. I don't know. I want to thank my patrons who support me so I can keep doing this every single week. I want to thank you for watching. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s. Hello, everybody. So you may have already guessed what potentially our next task will be when it comes to making our own monsters. And I know you don't need to because there's so many monster books out there. It should be pretty clear now that making a freaky monster, this is really very AD&D. This is very advanced Dungeons and Dragons. This was the approach that they used more than a few times when creating their own monster books for Dungeons and Dragons, or even Kobold Press does the same thing. Everybody does. So if they can do it that way, if they can do it, you can do it, right? Now, I would go straight into, let's make a table of 100 animals that we can use to generate our freaky monsters. But there's actually something we haven't finished. And you may remember that we were working on monster motivations, 100 different monster motivations that you could utilize in your game. And we haven't finished that table. That table needs to be finished. We are so close. There's just tag names for things to be built. So that's what we're going to do with the workshop aspect of it today. So you can see my presentation was very, very quick. I wouldn't even say it was 6 minutes. Was it even 5 minutes? It's unknown. Have I ever done a presentation that was that quick? It's very rare. Well, maybe it isn't. It does happen. It does happen. It happened today. How's it going, Big Kid? Big Kid is a patron. How are you doing, mate? Ancient Dragon is here. Hello. Is freaky monsters like a thing or not just a general description? I was just trying to... So YouTube, if you haven't figured it out, YouTube doesn't like it when I create the same title for a live stream. It doesn't like me live streaming as it is. But if I don't say something different from what I've done before, since I've talked about monsters on this channel every single week, I've kind of got to shake things up. And since... every alternative, so every fortnight I talk about a specific mythological monster or creature, and then every other fortnight I talk about a general concept in terms of home brewing your own monster. I have to change the titles of the live streams, otherwise YouTube assumes that I am duplicating myself. And since a lot of my programs here are like tutorials, they have an aspect to them that is duplication, but not completely. So I have to change these things up, but the titles too. I also realized I'd used so many different titles for this topic that I had to find something else. So I said freaky monsters. It's a no-brainer, right? When you think about A&D, D&D, and you think about combining different creatures together, we're winding up with a freak. It's a Frankenstein creature, really, in many respects. Pale Rider, how are you doing? Freaky monsters, how freaky are we ready to be? Look. This place, I know what you guys are like. I know how freaky you can get. And I'm sure that's where we're going to wind up going today. Prepare, cook, and survive. Hello, how are you? Hi, Fred. Hey, BK, hello. Oh, everybody's saying hello to each other. Okay, so we're going to do some monster motivations. And then if we finish that, and I'm happy with that, we will move on and start building for 100 tables. So a table of 100 different animals for the sky or flying creatures, one for land-based, one for marine, and one for subterranean, which is going to take a little while. I don't know how much you like the idea of doing this, but I thought it was a nice way to get us started into that sort of that aspect of building our own stuff. Freaky Monday Monsters. Well, I suppose you could say Freaky Monday Monsters. For me, it's Tuesday, but for you, it's Monday, right? You're going to make a Nagutu plus tentacle penguin. Oh, okay. Well, good. I'm glad you got a penguin on it in the works there. Anyway, just give me a second while I just get comfortable. I'll turn on my phone and we'll get started. We've got plenty of time now to get lots done, which is always nice. I always appreciate it. Do you? Do you appreciate it when we get plenty of time to talk about stuff? I don't know. You'll have to tell me. Now, the hope is that if I get the monster motivations done today, then I can put it up onto Patreon so that those of you who want access to it can start using it, which would be really good. Yeah, I think that's where my head is at. So let's hope that's all going to get done in that time frame. I think we've got a pretty good chance of making it happen. I know what you're thinking, Fred. You're stalling. Why are you stalling? What are you up to? Yeah, I'm stalling. It's quite deliberate on my part. Anyway, let's crack over to the work screen. And oh man, that just popped up. How did that happen? That doesn't happen to me. Here we go. Transition over. Bam. There we go. Look, there it is. Overboard. Hello, Overboard. How are you doing? Overboard is a patron, also a moderator, and he has his own YouTube channel. Deals with miniatures and terrain, and does reviews as well. How's it going, Joe? What do you got here? Yes, I forgot to mention you, didn't I? Dryad. Let's do environmental themes like ocean first, and then forest, and then land. So you want to do marine before we do land. That's fine. I have no problems with that. Have you seen them stand upright? Okay, all right. Be good. Be good, people. Be good. Right, so here is what we'll be working on. And as you can see, 100 monster motivations. 2 hashtags means it's not finished. But the good news is, as you may have noticed as we scroll through here, most of it seems to be filled out. And then we get to about here. Now, there's a big space, but this is mostly done. And you might notice that there are no tags for some of these motivations. Now, we've been trying to attach a tag to a motivation. So my job today is I'm going to do a hashtag and I get you to name these things. I'm going to make it a bit bigger because it's probably quite small right now. And we're going to then drop all this stuff in alphabetically. We're not worrying about the bell curve or anything like that. We're just going to make sure we get it done. So our first task is let's find one that we can use. I didn't want to put hostage or blackmail. It doesn't seem monstrous enough. Desire to prove oneself or gain recognition. It's a bit weird. Okay, remembrance. The creature needs others to tell stories about it. That's a strange one, but I'm tempted to put it in. Memento. The monster wants a personal item from an intelligent creature. Okay, pure power, wants total domination. Okay, so we're going to probably take these yellow ones, and I'm going to do a little bit of adjustment. The monster wants to recover a stolen trinket or item. This is, so give me a tag name for this, people. Hashtag. Tag name. And we want monster wants to recover. Cover a stolen item. So I want you to start thinking about what would be a good tag name for that while I start working on putting some of this stuff in place. This is going to get done today, people. We know it is. remembrance. The creature needs others to tell stories about it. It to continue existing. I think that is kind of odd, don't you? But as a motivation, it's definitely a monster motivation, but it's also really, really odd. So let's take that. I'm going to just get rid of this. This highlighting can go. And R for remembrance. So cut remembrance out. Goes into the R, remembrance. It's probably going about there. Sweet, sweet. There's right, there's one out of a few more to go, but we'll get there. Okay, memento. The monster wants a personal item from an intelligent creature. Okay. Creature as a trophy. Trophy. Now, I am kind of wondering if that's a little strange. Is it really a monster thing? The reason I'm leaving it there is because there are birds in New Zealand and around the world that go and they steal stuff. They're collectors. And I suppose you could say they are collectors or that they collect mementos. They're attracted to shiny things. But there are animals and creatures out there that collect other things that aren't shiny. It's rather odd behaviour, I realise, but I think we can tie that into a monstrous idea. So let's go here. As long as we don't have the word trophy here already. So that's different. Treasure hunter, completely different. Memento is something else. Memento. Right about after migration. Migration is very much a monster motivation or an animal motivation, so we can use that easy. Memento. Why do I feel like there's something wrong with that? Memento. My chat is not updating. I don't know why. Why is my chat not updating? Let us try again. Let's press the button and see if that works. Memento. It is. Well, that's the spelling's correct. Covert. Hoarder. Remembrance was my crazy creation. Hello, Noroak. How are you? I missed you. 92. Procreation. 92 is procreation. Okay, right. So I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to close that and make sure I don't open the wrong thing. So we've got memento, but you guys have thrown out a few ideas. It didn't update, so that's why I missed it. The monster wants to recover a stolen trinket or item. Covert, hoarder, procreation, covert, hoarder. I don't know about hoarder. What's convent? What's convent? Thief. Oh, okay, thief, not there. Magpie is a slang word for collector or of their shiny things. Okay. Monster wants to recover a stolen trinket or item. Not convert. Okay. Okay, right, so let's try. Oh. What's this? Yearn to possess something, especially something belonging to another. That's not really what we're trying to do here. That's not really what we're trying to do here. That's something else. So we're not really a thief. I think we can go with Magpie is probably not what we're trying to do with deal with here as well. What about? I almost feel like the word police is. What if I type in police? Well, it's not lawyer. Thief. They're not really the ones stealing it. Hoarder. It's not really hoarder. Do we have that? Is it hoarder? Is that what we were trying to do here? It's not really a hoarder. Okay, so let me just. I'm thinking now. I'm going to type in here police. So I almost feel like it is that thesaurus, which is. Do we identify police with monsters? That's not what my intention was, people. If you were thinking that. Enforcer. I know what it is. We're going to put down enforcer. Enforcer. I don't know. Is that enforcer? How do I feel about enforcer if I do a search on enforcer? What does enforcer mean? Enforcer. One that enforces. Enforcer. What does the meaning of enforcer mean? Enforcer. A person, especially a public official, who enforces laws, regulations. So, enforcer. I'm going to put enforcer. Klepto. Well, this recovering things. So it's a little different. I think we're going to put down enforcer. Because I'm not really trying to make them working against law or order in this case. It's a bit bizarre, I realise. So we're going to go enforcer. I don't know how people feel about that one, but I think we've got enough that's breaking the law as it is. We've got enough that are kind of revolving around that as it stands. So let's go with that one. We'll go enforcer. Next. It possesses to control others. Blackmail. The creature uses information or items it possesses to control others. I was wondering if I should use this one because it feels very sort of villain rather than monster, but then I realized that a dragon would operate like this. You could have a dragon and there's goblins would do this. So we can probably use blackmail. So we'll take blackmail. Blacking my mails. Where's my blacking my mails? Right about here. Blackmail. Let's put blackmail on. Okay. All right. I need to give you another task to name. The monster wants magical water from a spring in the realm of the Fae. This is something that needs to be tagged. Hello, Dungeons and Chronics. How are you doing? Okay, so next one. Hashtag. Tag name. And our tag name is Monster Wants Magical Water from Spring in Fae Realm. So let's see how you do. Prohibitionist in the sense of probate, I suppose. Maybe you've got something there. And go. I don't know. It's not real. It's not really a word, if you ask me. Define. Let's define it. The release of offender from detonation. No, it's not. It won't make sense. I feel like enforcer is probably better as a word. So we'll stick with that one for now. Now Pure power wants total dominance. We've got so many things that are kind of like that. Sorry about that. I've got flies, little midgies flying around me, and it's distracting. So apologise for the big slap. Probably can barely hear it if my sound is all messed up. Okay. Come on. Live stream. Catch up. Alright, sweet. Next. Hostage. The monster takes another creature captive as security for a ransom or favour that must be completed. And I put question mark beside it because I wasn't really too sure if I really wanted to deal with that. But I suppose it is still a motive that is pretty standard, and I guess we can do this. Okay, so let's cut this hostage. As we can see, the numbers are climbing up. Hostage, HHH. Hostage. We go. My hostage is going to go here. Homeless, hungry. Oh, how did we do that? That was a bit of a. That was a little bit of a. No, we've got to be careful. If I don't, I'll lose this other one. Sheesh, I almost forgot about that. Drop the one you already have, Fred. Okay, that's in there. Good. And then take the homeless one and go cut. And then we stick it here. Paste. And that should work out a little bit better. Spring breaker. Okay. Well, it's got the word spring breaker makes sense. I just don't know what breaker's referring to. You're going to have to enlighten me, Norokus. What's the reference between spring breaker? Spring breaker. I think I understand where you're going with that. It's not quite what I had in mind. It's funny though. Our monster's going on a spring break. Jealous. Do I want to include jealous? Okay. I've been fighting it, but I guess you could have monsters can be jealous. Okay. The monster is envious and resentful of others. Okay. So let's do this. Let's take that. Get rid of the monster. Is envious and resents other creatures for some reason. I think that's resentful of other creatures. Okay, so let's take that. It's a joke, yes. Okay, it is a joke. I figured it was a joke. Animals can certainly be jealous. So this is gonna be a tough one. You guys can at least see what we've got here. The good news is, I think we got this one nailed, people. I really do. Jealous. J. Where does J go in this? Jellingness. Gelling me us. Missing us. Sorry, people. I'm just talking waffle now. Okay, next. Since these numbers here are not really that helpful, I'm going to remove some of them. That just sort of condenses things down. For those of you who are thinking, oh, this is going to take too long. No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay. So, as we can see, we're in good... Okay, technomancer. The monster can steal or change the technology of others. Can and wants. There is our... It's a very odd thing for a monster, but we'll take it. So, technomancer. Techno here. Right there. Technomancer. And paste. Sweet. Alright. Wild Bill, the monster, is making a human skin suit. Oh my gosh, that's right. I remember this. This is a horrible idea. Why is it wild? Why do we have Wild Bill as a reference to this? There's got to be some sort of thing going on here. Wild Bill. Define. Why am I defining Wild Bill? There's got to be a reason, right? Wild Bill Hickok. Well, I don't remember Wild Bill Hickok cutting people's skin off and wearing it as a suit. I am a little lost as to what is going on with that idea. It's okay. Taste tester. The creature desires to taste every edible food in the world. Okay. Let's do this. Now, we haven't sent creature, and I'm actually quite happy with that being the case. Taste tester. It is odd, but we'll still go there. This reminds me of my mum's and my youngest brother's dog, Atreyu, who just likes eating everything. He'll eat the resin off the 3D printers. He'll just eat everything. And bacon and cheese, which is really bad for him, is the thing that he loves the most. Don't we know this feeling? Like the thing that hurts you the most is the thing you love? Oh dear. Anyway. Right. Okay, so what do we got here? 93, Relic Rever. Relic Rever. 93. Monster wants magical water. Relic Rever. Now that's interesting. Silence of the Lambs. Okay, Silence of the Lambs. Okay. Mine, Wild Bill, Silence of the Lambs. Okay. Alright, now I get the reference. 93, Relic Rever. Let's see. I'm going to just type in what does that mean? What does Rever mean? Relic, I get. Rever, I'm not sure. Rever. Deep. Feel deep respect or admiration for. Okay, so I see where we're going with this. The monster wants magical water from a spring in the realm of the Feywild. Interesting. So I'm going to take Noroak, your first idea, Spring Rever. I'm going to put down Spring Rever. I don't know what the heck I'm doing here. Rever. But I get what you're trying to do. Relic Rever, but I think it's spring water, so we want it to relate to that. Revere. I think maybe we're going to use the word revere. Yeah, maybe that's probably a better idea. Revere. Revere. Is that how I spell it? No, there's an E missing, I think. Let's check. There's 3 E's in this word. I don't really use this word very much. Revere. Okay, it is revere. Spring revere. I forget about the prepare, cook, survive. That was hilarious. Nice name. You can get your best rendition of Never Ending Story, Freddy. 95, Necroklepto. Necroklepto. What is 5? The monster wants an unholy or desecrated object. Oh, I see. Necroklepto. I see. I get the reference now. I get it. So clip. That's not right. Necrotic kleptomaniac. I think that's really what that one's trying to do there, right? Let's do reverence. That's it. Spring reference. Let's do that. Revere, reverence. Reverence. Oh, it's probably wrong. Anyway, the place keeps changing. Yeah, no, I apologize, people, as I move things around, and of course the you're probably your best bet is when you type in a tag name, describe what it's related to in this list, and then I can then connect it up. Okay, it's probably a bit better. We actually have a bunch here that are already done that I just need to put in the right place. So feel fairly confident we're going to get there. Okay, so we've got that one done. The monster is aware of that it's the last species and is trying to replicate. Why did I have that here? The monster enjoys and is attracted to musical melodies. I want that one. So let's do this tag name here. Hashtag. Tag name. Tag name for monster enjoys and is attracted to music. I think there it is. I'll let you figure out that one while I maneuver a lot of this out of the way. So we have kleptomaniac already. So we actually have already built that in. So we had one that was sort of like that. So this is good. This is good. That means less work, correct? I am going to cut this spring reverence out. Spring reverence. Spring speed. Come on, Fred, get it together. Get it to Sam. OP. Spring reverence. Paste. There it is. It's in the right place. Dance. The creature likes dancing and watching others dance. I don't know what the heck we were thinking. Symphony Stealer. Symphony Stealer? It's a funny one. I like it. Has anybody got a better idea? What? Opportunist. Oh my gosh, you guys have gone highbrow on me. Be gentle with my brain. I might explode. Okay? Dance. The creature likes dancing and watching others. So, okay, cut. Dancer. We've got a dancing. There's a dancing monster in this now. Dee dancing. I don't even know the words to Dancing Queen, and it seems like the most appropriate thing to start singing right now. Let's keep going. Symphony Stealer. Who's somebody who enjoys music? What's the term that refers to somebody who enjoys music? Like a music connoisseur. What is that terminology? Sonic. Oh, Sonic. Salivary. Okay. Okay. Necrotic. Now we're going to take this one here. Necrotic kleptomaniac. Necrotic attraction. Kleptomaniac. I don't know why we had kleptomaniac here. We have kind of kleptomaniac already. That's kleptomania. Necrotic, kleptomaniac. Let's just do this. That's fine. It's all right. It says want, right? We haven't stated that they steal it. They just want. It's not a kleptomaniac attraction. Necrotic attraction. I think that's what we're going to put here. That's probably more fitting for what that is referring to. Harmonic hunger. Perfect. Perfect. Couldn't get any better. Noroak suggestion. Relic rever. I think necrotic attraction is actually probably the one I want to go for. But your suggestion, I really like harmonic hunger. That's brilliant. So necrotic attraction. Let's take the necrotic attraction in. Necrotic. But narcissistic. Come on, paste you in. There we go. Oh, she's getting close, people. Right now, back to this one. Harmonic hunger. I really do like that. That's brilliant. Harmonic hunger. And I think that's good enough as it is. Perfect. And, you know, music calms the beast. It fits perfectly with that. H for harmonic. Let's go for harmonic. H, harmonic, harmonicos. Here we go. All right, that's another one down. Oh, it's looking good. It's looking good. So we need to take redemption. Quaker, the monster's instinct is to burrow underground and cause seismic activity. I actually like this. It's odd, don't you think? So cut. Quaker. Q lives. OPQ. And it's going to go Quaker is there. All right, Quaker. Redemption, the creature is seeking atonement for a past mistake. I actually like this one. It sort of sits very much in the villain sort of thing, or an NPC sort of thing, but I guess we still can have it. So let's go cut this. Redemption. Rebirth, redemption. Paste, redemption. So we are actually very, very close now, as you may notice. What have we got here in chat? What's this? Audio plus Casador. Oh, okay. Oh, give me a second. Now I've got to look that up. I'm kind of curious. So let me just rearrange this and get rid of all these extra numbers for those of you who are just pumping it in and trying to keep up with what's going on. To make you feel better, we don't have to. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and we only needed 4 more. So we have more than enough. You don't even have to worry about the other ones if we didn't really want them to. We just don't need to worry about them. So the number 97 and number 99, really unimportant, and Wild Bill, not required. Not required. Yeah, maybe. So really now all you're doing is waiting for me to put things into the right position. And I have to type in this word. Audio. Phyllis can saw. Oh, is that? Did I put it in right? What is that? What is that? Okay. An audiophile is a person who is enthusiastic about high-fidelity sound reproduction. Oh, I see. Audiophile seeks to produce the sound of a piece of... Okay, so... Yeah, this is interesting. Who is enthusiastic about high-fidelity reproduction. Seeks to reproduce the sound of living music. Okay, so that's... They reproduce it. Person who is enthusiastic about high fidelity. Okay, interesting. So thank you for that, big kid. Now I have become smarter, apparently. Cryptic. The creature shares secret knowledge with others, but in a convoluted way. And how many times have we had monsters that have done that in our games? Been a few. So, for those of you who are wondering, would we be getting this one done today? Apparently it is. Apparently we are very, very close. Just a few more clicks and presses, copies and pastes, and she's all there. Mamma mia. Right, so flesh spawn. The creature needs brains or internal organs to reproduce. This is gruesome. Let's do that one. That's fine. So cut, flesh spawn. I don't know why we're doing flesh spawn. We're doing flesh spawn because it's just gross. That's the reason for doing it. There isn't any other reason, right? That is correct. In there, flesh spawn. Almost to 100. What do you got here? Maybe bet Wild Bill don't make the cut. Wild Bill will not make the cut. And I'll tell you why Wild Bill won't make the cut is because Wild Bill is not required. We have two things in there that kind of do that already. Do you know what I mean? Hannibal is the real star, not Bill. Yeah, Hannibal. Yes. Yes, it would have to be called Hannibal. Really, that's if you're going to have it there, it should be named Hannibal. Of the remaining, I like the skin suit idea and should be named Skin Suit. Oh God, Skinwalker. Okay. So, the monster removes valuable parts from a magical creature for nefarious purposes. Harvester. I'm taking Harvester. So we're going to cut this. I can just see it now. Cut. Harvester. I don't think we have anything that's already Harvester. Harvest. I think it goes right here. Paste. Okay. The monster needs no. I think we're almost done. Yes, we are. Klepto. The creature has a passion for stealing others' items or objects. I think we have something that's very, very similar to that. I'm going to ditch these because we have things that are like that already. I know that to be the case because I have looked. Don't get excited there. Because if I find anything that is not like Klepto, Skin Suit will not make the cut. Can I assure you now? Plenty of contributions in here. Yes, there has been lots. You guys have been really good. Look, we have, look, there is 2 to choose from now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ditch this, cut that out, and depending on what we have already got, I'm going to go through and read them all out. And if anything duplicates the skin suit or the klepto, it's getting cut. That seemed fair enough. Whichever one doesn't get replicated already, isn't very similar, that's the one we keep. And that is probably one of the most horrible lists of monster motivations I could possibly think of. Okay, let's go through this. Have I got my singing voice ready? I need a lozenge for this. Yes, this is the crazy creature community for sure. Yes, we have creature talents, we have creature special abilities and powers, we have body parts, we have origins. Well, now we're going to have monster motivations. Here we go. Acquiring knowledge. The monster wants more information on specific topics. Okay. Addiction. The monster has tasted alcohol or drugs in the past and wants more. Okay, yeah. Aggressive. The monster only knows how to interact with violence. Fine. Alpha. The monster wants to dominate its species hierarchy. Okay. Blackmail. The creature uses information or items it possesses to control others. Fine. Blight. The creature spreads pestilence and decay for Okay. With a fungal infection. Bloodlust. The creature needs blood to sustain itself. Okay. Body snatcher. The monster requires a new skin or body before it dies. New skin or body before it dies. So, you know what that means. It's either body snatcher has got to go or skin suit has got to stay. Are we already starting to see this? Huzzah. That's a big huzzah there if you ask me. So body snatcher. Is it doing enough though? Bully. The monster seeks. So we're going to highlight you. You are either on the chopping block or you are staying, and one of those features we just talked about is going. Bully. The monster seeks to subject creatures weaker than it. Conduit. The monster's purpose is to be a vessel or sacrifice for a demonic being. Okay, that's creepy. Confused. The monster doesn't understand its environment and purpose. Conquer. The monster wants to take control of a location and species. We had something very similar before. Crafter. The creature is building structures or objects for a purpose. Okay. Cryptic. The creature shares secret knowledge with others in a convoluted way. Yeah. There's your Sphinx. Curse. The monster is trying to place a curse on another creature. Dancer. The creature likes dancing and watching others dance. Very strange. Dependent. The creature is defenseless or weak and seeks out stronger allies to defend it. Disease. The monster is suffering from a bacterial or viral infection that changes its behavior. Right. Dream warper. The monster invades dreams and nightmares to drive others insane. Dungeon digger. The creature seeks to build and uncover labyrinths, mazes, and caves. Enforcer. The monster wants to recover a stolen trinket or item, which is not stealing. Okay. Entitled. The monster believes it can be lazy and still get what it wants. Entitled. It's really strange, this one. Escape. The monster wants to break free from confinement or control. Evil. The monster attacks and inflicts pain simply because it enjoys it. Very simple. Fanatic. Always following religious edict. The monster follows a religious edict. Monster is following a religious edict. Okay. Favor. The monster wants to help or a promise of action, wants help or a promise of action from another creature. So that's fine. Fear. The monster is afraid of something or someone. Feign. The monster acts weak or injured to lure in prey. Flesh spawn. The monster needs brains or internal organs to reproduce. Okay. Following orders. So that's kind of, again, flesh spawn is not exactly the skin suit, but it's kind of in the same vein to a certain degree, but I think I like this one more than I like the body snatcher one. Evil, bully, and aggressive all feel the same. So let's say, so evil, bully, and aggressive. Evil, bully, evil, and bully. So okay. Bully, evil. I would agree that bully and evil do feel very similar. But I don't know that I agree with aggressive. Aggressive, the monster only knows how to interact with violence. That doesn't mean that they're evil. So I'm going to colour these the same here. This is one of our problems, is we don't want to have things reproducing themselves too much in this list. Otherwise, how useful is it if all I've done is made a whole bunch of lists that really do the same thing? I feel like flesh spawn is better than body snatcher with regard to some of these things we've got here. But, okay. All evil people are bullies, not all bullies are evil. So Sushi Bandit, this is exactly what my point was, yes. Thank you for pointing it out and spelling it out. How's it going, Derry? How are you? Okay, let me keep going through here, because there's 70 more of these things. Following orders. The monster works for a more powerful creature or deity. Deity that it gives instructions. It's a very basic one, following orders. It must complete. I think that one's definitely staying. Friendship. The monster wants a relationship of mutual trust and support. Which is okay. Fractured. The creature seeks to reclaim its fractured body or mind, which is very unusual. Okay. Fun. The monster wants to be entertained in a specific way because it's bored. Fine. End. The monster wishes to die. Okay. Why did we call it end? We called it end for some reason. Well, yeah, I suppose we called it end for a couple of reasons, actually. Yeah, I do feel like Body Snatcher and Flesh Spawn are different enough. I'm actually thinking that I might tie some of Body Snatcher into something else, because I actually like Flesh Spawn, even though the tag name's a little whack. You know what I mean. Check in the list. I am checking the list. Okay. Bear with me as we continue through our horrific list of monster motivations. Environmental activist. The creature protects natural environments and ecosystems. There's your dryder. Dryad, not drider. Exterminator. The creature is trying to clear a invasive vegetation or... I think I need to expand this. This is not enough. Exterminator is fine. The creature is trying to clear an invasive vegetation or pest. I want to include the word pest. Guardian. The monster is guarding or protecting a location, treasure, or item. We haven't... Okay, so let's include... pest. Or pests. Let's include something else. Creature. Or item. So guardian is a bit more robust. Harmonic hunger. What do we got here? Am I on the naughty list? No, you're not on the naughty list. Prepare, cook, and survive. Don't worry about it. Wow. That's just a real one. Environmental activist. I am not suggesting that environmental activists are monsters. I know what social media is like. You guys will jump to all sorts of weird conclusions. So don't go there. Harmonic hunger. The monster enjoys and is attracted to musical melodies. Okay. Harvester. The monster removes valuable parts from magical creatures for nefarious purposes. It's kind of like flesh spawn, but it's very specific around magical creatures. And I wonder if flesh spawn should be... I'm going to put yellow on this as well. Because I wonder if this needs to be specifically magical creatures. Flesh spawn is a slightly different. It is slightly different. It's not exactly the same. Oh dear. Okay. Hostage. The monster takes another creature captive as security for a ransom or favour that must be completed. Homeless. The monster is searching for a new home because it lost its current one. Okay. Hungry. The monster wants to eat because it's hungry or has an unending hunger. Well, it's pretty obvious what hungry is. Okay. Immortal. The creature seeks immortality, so it doesn't age or die. Why am I getting messages sent to me? Westpac, leave me alone. Oh, I gotta do that. Oh, jeez. Okay. Is that today? Is today? No, that's tomorrow. Oh, leave me alone. I'm in the middle of doing something. Okay, next. Jealous. No, it's injured. The monster is in great pain from a wound. Okay, so I don't know what else. What did we do with this? So what is this? I feel like there's something missing with injured. The monster is in great pain from a wound. But if we look at that and how it works, there's something whack going on here. Flesh spawn and harvester. They have similar themes and definitely are unique. Yeah, this is one of the things I was thinking. To thanophobic. So sushi bandit, explain to me what thanophobic is, because I don't quite understand what we're referring to. I need a bit more information. And there's no point using a word if it's so difficult for people to understand what it is. Seeks medical treatment. Okay. I think medical treatment, we won't put medical treatment, but treatment. Xenophobic. Intense fear of death or of the dying process. Oh, I see. I see what where you're going with this. And that was related to end. Okay. Okay, the monster is in great pain from a wound and seeks treatment. I think that's good enough. Now, going back to immortal, I think immortal is probably no. Well, it's immortal is, I guess, xenophobic. It's a very good term for exactly what we're talking about here. So I see where you're going with this. That doesn't mean that I haven't written off the idea. I'm just sitting here percolating and thinking about it before I do it. Immortal, the creature seeks immortality so it doesn't die, age or die. Xenophobic, natural to feel anxiety about death. Xenophobic is an anxiety disorder. Okay, so that's the fear, but this is. I think what we'll do is we'll keep it as it is. I think immortal is going to be probably, yeah, we'll leave it as. I get what you're saying though. I was very tempted to do it, but I'm going to leave it just because that's the fear. Whereas this is supposed to sort of duplicate. I think the tag name's wrong. Immortal Seeker. That's probably the easiest way to solve that. It's not clean, but it's done. Yeah, that's. I think Sushi Bandit. That was your point. Is the immortal sounds like they're already immortal. Was what we really need to do is they need to be seeking. It can be crippling or a huge motivator. Yes, yes. I get where you were saying with that. So yeah, I got it. I think I got it covered this time. Come on. Yeah, I think that's going to work. That's a little bit cleaner. Right, Harvester. Moving on. Injured. We've done. Jealous. The monster is envious and resentful of other creatures for some reason. Got it. Juvenile. The monster acts childish and could be manipulated. Okay, that's fine. Lair renovations. The monster wants a large den, home, or lair to be expanded. It is a strange motivation. I totally get it. But lair motivations, it makes me laugh, so we're keeping it. Locust. The monster plagues the plants of an area, consuming everything. Okay, so that's fine. That's all right. Lonely. The creature seeks to be loved and accepted. Accepted because it has no one. Has no one. That is a odd thing to put in for a creature, but like even animals get lonely, right? So let's put that down. My dad said it's chill, so my son. Okay. All right. So next one. Lost item. The creature is searching for a missing or lost object. Now, hang on. Lost item, and there was a tag that we used that was kind of like this. And I think it's Enforcer. Lost item and enforcer are very similar. Lost item and enforcer. I'm sure it is. What did I do here? And. And is in the wrong place. That's what's part of my problem. Enforcer wants to recover a stolen trinket or item. Lost item. I think lost item and enforcer. I think the best way, I'm actually going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this. Lost item is searching for a missing, for a stolen, missing or lost object. I think that's I think that's going to work better. I don't know how people feel about that, but I think that's the right way to go. Now, and A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, D, E. This is in the wrong place. It actually needs to go somewhere else. You know what that means? That means that the discussion around what stays where is a moot point. We're going to come back to lost item in a second, but what does that mean? That means we have our items. People, you get to keep them all. Looks like you get to keep them all. Okay, skin suit, which is still different enough compared to everything else, but also is whack as. Cut, skin, suit, skin. I believe it's there. Paste. And then kleptomaniac. Cut. Kleptomania. Kleptomania. Paste. All right. That's good. That's good. So we have 100. It's just about going through the list and making sure that it's doing what it needs to do. So we got up to, the last thing I was looking at was lost item. This is where we were at, right here. But it's time for me to take a break. People, I need to take a break. I also just want to say I appreciate the thumbnail image you're using. You do? So, Sushi, are you referring to Monster Hunter? Monster Hunter wyverns and dragons are so cool. Yeah, they are. So, Sushi Bandit, do you realize that there is a Monster Hunter 5e compatible PDF out there? In fact, there's more than one out there. There's an entire monster manual for Monster Hunter. I'm going to talk about it in the future, but this week it's going to be The Legend of Zelda. So if you're looking for Monster Hunter, just saying. And I think I uploaded to Patreon, just for the patrons, a big list of various IPs and the links to all those documents. So if you don't want to wait 16 or so months for everything to come out, you can just grab the links and go bananas to your heart's content. Best kind of dealer. Death dealer. Death dealer. Oh, I see. You just started DMing? Okay, all right, cool. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take a quick break. Quick break, 5 minutes less. Okay, come back, continue on. we're about halfway through the revision of this list, and I think it's very likely that you're going to see it on Patreon at the end of the week, which is good. Okay, Arnold's going to look after you. You spend some time with Arnold, 5 minutes or less. I will be back. Ah, here we go. Slipping back in. Okay. I've still got more than enough time to get this done today, which is good. Let us see. Let us see what we will see. We shall see. I am back and transition over. Okay. Sweet. Good news. All right, so lost item. We've got that done. Lust. The monster loves or is infatuated with another creature. I think that's fine. Magic munchies. The creature needs to consume magic energy to survive or reproduce. Okay. Manipulate. The monster manipulates other creatures for various purposes. Okay. Mate. The monster is searching for a mate of its species. Okay. Migration. The monster is moving from one region to another for food or mating. Okay. So migration, yeah, it's very basic. Memento. The monster wants a personal item from an intelligent creature. I think we're going to get rid of the word intelligent. From a creature as a trophy. Okay. All right. I just don't think that I think that's what we'll do. Monster followers. The monster wants to amass loyal followers, loyal minions or followers. Okay. Okay. That's fine. Moral obligation. It is intended to be a really good resource, and I keep making more of them every single week. So, so what's the word that I wanted to say here? That's yes. That'll do. Yes, go on to Patreon and download everything. Good luck. Make sure to use the search function if you're going to go and get anything off there. There's rather a lot. Okay, moral obligation. You don't have to pay any more than $1 a month, frankly. So you could just, I suppose you could just sign up, just download everything you want, and then just jump back out again if you really wanted to for the next month. Okay, moral obligation would not be my favourite technique for people to use on Patreon. Moral obligation. The monster believes it's the right thing to do or ethical. Yes, okay. Mourning. The monster is nursing a deep grief and is depressed. So I think that's not really worded very well, is it? The creature's nursing a deep grief and is depressed. That's better. Mutiny. The monster is trying to overthrow its boss or kingdom's leader. Okay. I said kingdom's leader. Does it need to be kingdom's leader? I'm going to get rid of kingdom's leader. We're just going to put down leader. We'll make it a little bit simpler. You are welcome. I've only built around 3 stat blocks so far. I would highly recommend the Mushroom World. It's fun. Oh, that's right. The Mushroom World we made. I've got a bunch of stuff I've still got to release to the Patreon. Narcissistic. The monster loves itself and thrives on flattery. Necromantic. The monster drains the life force of its prey to survive. Okay. Necrotic attraction. The monster wants an unholy or desecrated object. Okay. Obsession. The creature is fixated on a particular object, creature, or item. That's fine. Pain relief. The monster needs a large object stuck in its jaw removed. Okay. Stuck in its... Why did we say jaw? Body. Let's just put body. Body. I think this was the, pull out the thorn in the tooth with the lion, wasn't it? That was really where that came from. Paranoid. The monster is suspicious of everything and everyone. There's your beholder. Parent. The monster is protecting its babies or offspring. Good. Partner captured. The monster is trying to rescue its partner from captivity. I don't know why we had to be so specific, but we were. Is there anything wrong with this, though? Probably not. Probably nothing. I mean, it's really, really specific, but it still works. Plague spreader. Now, we had something. Oh, no, hang on. The monster's trying to spread a deadly disease. Now, we had something called diseased. Plague spreader and diseased. Let's have a look at diseased. I'm sure it was called diseased. The monster suffering from that changes. Oh, okay. It is actually different. It's... Okay, so plague bearer and diseased is actually slightly different. So we can keep those. We don't need to make any adjustments or replace it. That's fine. Okay. Plant growth. The plant monster wants mulch, fertilizer, compost, and decaying matter. This is very specific. It is probably going to be really awkward if you wind up rolling it and you don't have a plant monster. There's a problem with a motivation which is so specific. But I guess one of the great things about this, tell me if I'm wrong, I guess one of the great things about having plant growth, the plant monster wants mulch, fertilizer, compost, and decaying matter. What you can wind up doing is if you roll this up and you decide you want to keep it, whatever the monster is, if it's not a plant monster, you make it a plant monster. So if you roll this up and you've got like a beholder, I guess, you could say it's a puffball. It's actually a plant. It's not like a creature or your normal monster, like the normal. It's an actual puffball, and that's what it feeds on. I suppose you could do it that way. Or if you had something like I guess a troll, the troll could be a actual walking green plant that that regenerates, and it needs to be fed on this. So although it's sort of a little off whack, it still can work. You'd wind up changing your monster quite a lot. Okay, what do you got here? If pain relief was added to a guard, the injury would be an arrow in the knee. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think you sushi bandit. This is why I'm actually going to leave plant growth, because what it will do is it will make your monster fundamentally different to what it was before, which is always good if you can throw your players and things out of the norm. Possessed. The monster's body and mind is controlled by an evil entity. That's good. That's fine. We're keeping that. Prophecy. The monster believes it is destined for a specific future. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. We'll keep that. Quaker, the monster's instinct is to burrow underground and cause seismic activity. Okay, rebirth. The monster seeks to reincarnate itself as a different species. Now, I think we had this down because I've talked about my home group and how often we like using reincarnate to mess with each other's characters when somebody dies. So there's there's a bit of sadism going on there, I think, in my group. But at least everybody gets the joke. Redemption. The creature is seeking atonement for a past mistake. I'm fine with this. Remembrance. The creature needs others to tell stories about it to continue existing. So we're dealing with something very odd here. Remove curse. The monster is cursed with its current form and wants it removed. So I'm fine with that. Revenge. The monster wants to punish another creature for an unknown grievance. That's good. Reproduction. The monster is trying to produce offspring. Okay. Rival. The monster needs help driving off a rival creature or predator. Good. Self-defense. The monster is trying to protect itself from predators and harm. Very, very basic one, that. Seductive. The monster seduces others to gain control, information, or food. Okay, I think we needed to have that, and I think the succubus is where we were leaning on with that one. Troll gardens are an interesting thought. Yes, can we imagine that? Well, a monster needs to do something with the corpse of its victim. Why not mulch them? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It doesn't have to eat it. It just needs to suck it up through its root system. Dear. Yeah. Nice. We're working. It's working well. No, I don't know. There we go. And so we're getting closer to the end of this, people. Seeks knowledge. The creature seeks ancient knowledge and magic by any means necessary. Okay. Skin suit. The monster is making a suit of skin it can wear from another creature. God, blimey. Smith. The monster enjoys crafting armor and weapons from metal. Now we had this. So Smith and crafter. I think there's crafter as well. Smith. Crafter. Does somebody remember what we had here? We had crafter, I'm sure. Crafter, it's building structures. Oh, this is crafter. It's building structures. I think what we will do here is we'll differentiate this from the blacksmith. No, actually, we don't need to do that because it is different enough, isn't it? A blacksmith can only make certain things. Crafter is a bit broader. Blacksmith is very similar. Monster enjoys crafting armor weapons from metal. So we're dealing with metal here now. So let's expand this a little bit. And you'll let me know. And items from metal. Giant carpenter ants would also be a fun one. Yes, absolutely. Now, smoke jumper. The monster hates fire and stamps out all fires in the environment. This is the rhinoceros has a tendency to do this, so I decided we should add this in. Somebody came up with smoke jumper, which was it's a little off. I mean, I granted the tag name and the description of what it is a little off, but it kind of still works. So we're going to leave that because the other choice was to call it fireman. Because I mean, I know, and I suppose we could do that, but I actually like the idea of just calling it smoke jumper. Inherent in the the blacksmith I will make exclusively metal, but the crafter is not exclusively metal. So that means that with the crafter one, it might be building structures or objects, but the crafter one would be not necessarily related to metal. So it's a little bit different. This one is sort of more targeted in on one specific thing. So it's the blacksmith or smith. Okay, solitary. The creature hates being around others. Others. And just prefers being alone. Okay, we've got it. Okay, soul seeker. The monster is collecting souls to trade or feed on. This is the hag concept, people, or demons and devils. Spring reverence. The monster wants magical water from a spring in the realm of the Fae. So we've got that one. Now, I've been very specific and said the realm of the Fae, but magical water kind of makes sense to me, so we're going to leave it as it is. Look at this, people. Look at this, people. We're so close. Taste tester. The creature desires to taste every edible food in the world. And I'm not going to add in creatures. I'm just going to say food, because it gives you plenty to work with. I guess you got a monster who's like a connoisseur of food. Is it very monstrous? It's kind of odd, isn't it? It really is. Gotcha. Yes, that's sort of what I was going with. So for a skin suit, would you also add this? The creature is making a skin suit for their prey in order to draw strength from them. Skin suit, you want me to add that? Noroak, it's not because it isn't a good idea, but I'm going to leave it out. Do you know why? I'm going to leave it out because I'm going to let people dig their own hole with this one. Okay. When it comes to something like a discussion about a monster and creating a skin suit, because the concept is so horrible, I'm going to leave you guys to dig your own holes with this one, because I can see it causing all sorts of people to squirm. So I'm going to leave it out, not because it's not a good idea, but because I want you to create your... This is something that needs to be... You do that with your own group, and I'm going to let somebody else dig their own hole with that idea. You don't have to... When you roll this, you don't have to use it, by the way. Technomance. The monster can and wants to steal or change the technology of others. Okay, that's fine. Territorial. The monster is maintaining control and power over an area of land. That's fine. Test. The monster wants a challenge to test its survival skills under pressure. That's an odd one, but I'll keep it. Pale Rider. Revenge, like we have revenge already, I'm pretty sure. I am pretty sure we have revenge. Revenge is already there, so we're all good. Don't need to worry. We're sweet. Time munch. The monster feeds on the time of living creatures, robbing them of their youth. That's a very weird motivation. It almost feels like a power. Time travel. The monster wants to jump forward into time, into the future. Time travel. Well, let's broaden that out a little bit. The time muncher, the monster feeds on the time of living creatures, robbing them of their youth. That's fine. We're going to leave that there. Time travel. The monster wants to jump forward in time to the future and back to the past. I think we just broadened that out. Tired. The monster hasn't had enough sleep and is grumpy. Okay. Trial and test look very similar. Is going through the rite of passage to become an adult. Okay, so that's different. Okay, it is slightly different. Treasure hunter. The monster wants treasure like gold, gems, and magic items. We've got something that's kind of similar, but that is slightly different. It is, yeah, okay. Unfinished business. The monster has a task that wasn't completed during its life. Okay, so maybe I need to expand a little bit on that one. Let's see here. The monster has a task that wasn't completed during its life. and is trying to finish the task. I guess the task. Okay, so I guess that's all I needed to add to there, right? Xenophobic. A monster wants to end all life forms because it hates everyone. Okay. Wants to end all life forms because it hates everyone not like it. That is pretty bad. let's just get rid of this. I'm going to go back to the highlighted ones that I've got here and just see if I need to adjust them. The green ones, let's do the green ones first, because that's going to... Bully, the monster seeks to subjugate creatures weaker than it. Okay, and then we have evil. The monster attacks and inflicts pain simply because it enjoys it. That is, they are very similar, but they are different. Now that I think about it, they are very, very similar, but they are different. Evil isn't targeting just the weak. It is just doing... It would do it to the strong as well. It would just find a way. So I think we can actually leave them as they are. Now the yellow marked ones, having a look at the yellow marked ones, there's always something that needs... So body snatch, the monster requires a new skin or body before it dies. Okay, so that is different to our skin suit. That is actually different. And then if we look at flesh spawn, the monster needs brains or internal organs to reproduce. So that's different again. Okay, so I probably can actually not worry about... I don't think I need to worry about these two. I think they are different enough from the skin suit one. They are definitely slightly... Halves that removes valuable parts from magical creatures from creatures. Okay. Now I've said magical creatures, but it doesn't have to be magical creatures. But I'm going to leave it as magical creatures. I think that's different enough from body snatcher and skin suit and flesh spawn. It is actually different. It is not the same. Okay. But there are definitely similarities in it. As we were seeking the most horrendous things we could possibly think of. So we've actually got a complete list, people. We do. We do, in fact, have a complete list. So to make sure that it is going to wind up getting to you at the end of the week, when I have a bit of time on Friday, hopefully after playing Back Me or basic Dungeons and Dragons, or actually I'm building a character with a bunch of people. Let's see, let's italic. I think we'll go italic on that. I want to put in now this is where we get a little interesting. Let's close this. And I want to go in here, and I think there is a phrase I've been using quite a lot. Oh, by the way, yesterday's skill challenge, I did complete the skill challenge for yesterday. All of the work for the skill challenge we built yesterday has been done. So that means that the completed... I did add in a few additional things. So if you're wondering if it's going to be available at the end of the week, I should be able to upload it. So you don't need to worry about waiting, okay? One of the biggest problems is just finding time to finish things. And because I make so much stuff, as you know, sometimes I just don't find the time. Because I have a job. And I have to do the job to pay the bills, since this doesn't pay the bills. So that means that 100 monster motivations is a thing. Here we go. Sweet. Awesome. Very, very nice. That was a lot easier than I was expecting. I don't know about you, but I was really kind of worried that it wouldn't get done, or I would forget something. So I think that's going to make a pretty marvelous tool. I don't know how people feel about it. I mean, obviously it's not it's, you know, there's probably other things we could add, but I think that gives you pretty much everything you might need to build in motivations for your monsters now. I'm relatively happy with that as a final solution. So good. Happy about that. Blah blah blah. Let's go over to my face. I'm going to go over to my face just briefly. I'm going to have a quick chat with you people. For those of you who are here, still hanging out. Drink some water. I'm getting my my groove on, making sure that I So, good news for those of you who wanted access to the monster motivations. It's done. So that means, starting as of next week, Big Kid has asked for us to work on marine animals. So we have to make 4 lists of animals that we would use for building our monsters. The first one, we'll do the marine or the water-based ones. And then at some point we've got to do flying creatures or flying animals for the sky stuff. Then we've got to do subterranean, and then we've got to do land-based animals. So that's going to be a lot of work. I would imagine that's going to take a little while. I think the question is that how do you people feel about us building those lists? Now, a list of 100 different items for different ecological environments, does that seem like a waste of our time and your time and my time? Or would it just assist you? And if we do build that, what I think, hi Shiner81, very happy to hear Monster Motivations is done. Good job. Thank you, Shiner81. So yeah, just discussing quickly the building. I'm not going to start them today because I got to go to work very shortly, and so once I get started, I'm going to get lost, and you guys will start moving things along and so forth. So it would be, yeah, we do this every single week, so we can start next week. Okay, same day, same time. But the question is, if we make a list of animals, 100 for land, marine, sky or flying, and subterranean, do we want to include a description of each animal just in case people do not recognize what the heck the animal is? I think that's the question. I think we've proven that if we make a table of 100 things, that just giving a single name or a tag name is not sufficient. There needs to be a bit of detail attached to that. But is that going to be necessary with making a list of 100 animals to then cut up and build our monsters with? So I'm kind of curious how people feel about that. There's a few of you here. I'm going to end the poll. Do you make freaky homebrew monsters for your role-playing games? Yes, 41%. No, 18%. Hopefully that 18% are now thinking, yes, I can make that happen. And then incomplete, 24%. Okay. And then there are 18% just watching. All right, let's end that poll. Okay, cool. So I want you to have a think about that. Either use the chat now and let me know how you would like us to build those lists. I think I was talking to AJ Pickett about this actually a couple of days ago, and he's just done a video recently talking about that very thing that we were discussing. Actually, can I find AJ's video? I might be able to find AJ's video. And he kind of talks very briefly about that sort of thing in that video. And maybe it's worth sort of checking out. I think it is, but maybe you'll think it is. Let's just grab this, copy, pause. Let me drop this link in here. He winds up talking about a couple of different creatures and the ecology of them. And I think that's where the sort of discussion started. I did notice it. I was like, that's what we were talking about before, AJ. So I thought I would just drop that in there. And then I guess for those of you who are unaware, at the end of the week, the Game Master Roundtable are getting together again. And we're going to do... I'm going to warn you now, whatever we get up to on Wally's channel is probably going to be bat crazy nuts. because we're going to build characters for Back Me or Basic Dungeons and Dragons. That's the red box for those of you who don't know. Okay. I definitely need to post more of my crazy monsters to Discord. Yeah, well, only if you feel like sharing them. Do you know what I mean? Only if you feel like sharing them. So this is the link that Wally's created for that particular Game Master Roundtable. And so AJ Pickett, myself, Wally DM, Mr. Welsh, Tabletop Bob, and the OKS DM, we're all going to build characters for Back Me D&D. And then we're going to run those characters in about 2 weeks through, or 2.5 weeks from now, through a one-shot, and Wally DM is going to be the Dungeon Master or Game Master. And I suspect many of us are going to die horribly. So he's got something in stall. So yeah, it should be a lot of fun. And tomorrow what are we doing tomorrow? Tomorrow we're building a character for Shadow Dark, aren't we? For those of you who don't know, I've been doing the Shadow Dark thing. So we've got one more character. We're doing the Thief. So make sure to bring your dice, and it's going to be nuts, bat crazy, as it always is. Character building on this channel is insanity on a different level. So yeah, that should be fun. That should be fun. Okay, I think I'm ready to go. If you're ready to go, I'm ready to go. So I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons who support me on Patreon so I can keep doing this. As I said, the Monster Motivations 100 Monster Motivations table will be going up onto Patreon at the end of the week to download for patrons. For those of you who aren't patrons, maybe join up, or you're going to have to build your own. You can see what I did. You can copy it if you wanted to. So I want to say a big thank you to Prepare, Cook and Survive, Noroak, Shiner81, Dungeons and Chronics. We've had Pale Rider here, Sushi Bandit's been hanging out with us. Big thank you to all of you and for all of your feedback. Derry's been hanging out as well. A bunch of you have been providing suggestions and advice, and it's been a fun time. So I'm hoping, and Big Kid, don't forget Big Kid Fred. Overboard. Oh, Joe, there's so many of you. I've put up a poll. I'm going to be making up, by the way, I'm going to be making up an emailing list for this channel so that those of you who are missing out on live streams don't miss out on live streams. So I'm going to do that. So wherever you are in the world, actually, thank you for participating in that poll, by the way, and watching. Wherever you are in the world, whether it be the morning, the afternoon, the night, or the wee early morning, please look after yourself, your family, and your friends. Be nice to your neighbours. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s. Woohoo! We got it done. Sorry, Michael. See you tomorrow. Character creation.